get fresh perspective now to this renewed conflict. UN Ambassador for Peace and Security, Ambassador Roy Okhidievbie, joins me now. Thank you very much for joining us at this point. But yes, we are here for a very serious issue, talking about this violence in South Africa where Nigerians are affected. What's your take?
Yeah, it's very sad because if you look at it properly, the best brains in Nigeria are the 80% that you get in diaspora. Most of them are in businesses, most of them are in manufacturing, most of them are in academics, medical, and these are the people that left the country. So when you hear that Nigerians are being killed outside, the criminal elements are not up to 2%. So we have to be worried, we have to be concerned. It's dastardly and it's barbaric.
I see, and the government have spoken out. Some are even saying it's not exactly xenophobia, but for you, what's this about?
It is. The program of the government is to intervene whenever the problems come up. It's just like we have crisis down here, and the legal structure does not really address penalties that will deter future occurrences. So what they want to do is to always intervene. But we should begin looking at how to really curb the death rates and the destruction of properties. You know, if there are means to recoup destroyed properties, but you can't recoup taking lives of people. So we need to look at a government situation. We need to look at the people situation. We need to find a round table where solutions must be brought forward.
Well, both governments are already meeting. We understand now Nigeria and South Africa, of course, an envoy is on his way to the country now. But what are you proposing to end this conflict once and for all?
Yeah, we have set up a body called Arise O Nigeria. And this body is not into maybe trying to bring in criminality into pressure groups and all that. We are engaging the ECOWAS, we are engaging the AU, the African Union, and we are going to have Nigerian government and the South African government together. Then the aggrieved parties. All of these meetings the governments are doing now, they have not actually called the aggrieved parties. The Nigerian community in South Africa, they have an organization.
Absolutely.
The South Africans themselves that are within the elements that react and burn and kill, they have a community amongst themselves.
But how much good will this get? Because it's been said that these killings, this violence is mindless. What grievance can these criminals possibly have against Nigerians working legitimately?
You know, we had Boko Haram coming up to say they don't want Western education. And it was handled poorly, and it degenerated into a group taking up arms and taking positions. Now, this is the same thing that can happen there right now. So if you think that there are just aimless and wanton demands, you will be missing it because they are already in trauma. South Africa went through a lot of crises with the slavery and the time of Nelson Mandela and all that. So they are already prepared against external occupation. So we need to look at those groups and we need to identify them. When you call them to the discussion platforms, you will now disintegrate their contenance and really prove to them. Then their elements, the worrying elements amongst them will be reducing because it's those people that they engage.
Right, but history would not be complete. I mean, this war in South Africa against apartheid wasn't fought alone by South Africans. They had support from friends, even in Nigeria.
No, you see, one thing we need to understand is there is a motion in South Africa. It's a diplomatic country. Okay, there are persons in that country that are already engineering some of these things. We understand it happens here also. There are persons behind the scene. So it is the body we are trying to put together. We look at identifying such persons, bringing them out to the fore, and making the laws of the land go into action. And all of this will look like the appropriate foothold to engage it.
Ambassador Roy Okhidievbie, thank you very much for your thoughts on TVC News.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.